with an episode. No. But when I draft my story, good job, buddy. All right. Let me go ahead and give you no.
Yeah, okay.
I need you to take that to the counter. Okay. And my camera is not off. Yep, right there's fine. Is making a bottom line. You want to let them in? Okay. That's where I got the line. Hey, stop. Too loud. Not yet, okay? I'll let you know when you can make the noise, okay? What's up? I'm just recording, so what do you need? Okay, I am almost done recording. We'll see. Butterfly flaps its wing and... Hello dears, Natalie Locke here with episode 114 of Write the Story, where I give you a prompt in 10 words out of this book so you can write the story with me. And you get to see what my drafting process is like, and you get to either apply it to your own drafting process or say, that sucks, and try something new. Whatever tickles your fancy. The way I normally do this is I take 5-10 minutes to outline, which my outline is not conventional. Really, it's because I have 10 words. I want to make sure I utilize those 10 words. So I get glimpses and little scenes and picture moments of those 10 words. Maybe it's a line of dialogue and I throw it down on the outline. But when I draft my story, that part connects all the 10 words together. After I'm done with the outline, I take about 30 minutes, sometimes longer, to actually write the story. If you want to see me write a story in 30 minutes, you can join me on Flash Fiction Live every Saturday, either on my channel or my co-host's channel, Chandra Arthur, and we do Flash Fiction Live, where we write 2 flashes, 30 minutes each, over like a 2.5 hour period, and we workshop each other's work to make them better. So you might learn something, maybe. No promises. You might have already known it as we stumble across it and discover it. Let me go ahead and give you episode 114's prompt and 10 words. The prompt is an interrupted journey. The words to include are butterfly effect, vulture, cramp, industry, purge, scruple, snorkel, snitch, warning, and unless. Here's another point with the 10 words. Some people are purist and do not change the words as they are given to the writer. I try to do that, but every once in a while I do add an S to the end or make something past tense when it was given to me in present tense. Whatever works for you. Honestly, the point is to write the story and to be creative in how you use words. That's all it is. It's an entire exercise. And also, being flash fiction that I'm writing here, there is the overarching rule that cannot change. It must be 1,000 words or less. The times that I've gone over 1,000 words, I go back and read my story multiple times, keep on cutting it until it is under 1,000 words. That's happened a few times. I'm still here. I survived. For this outline, I didn't know what I was doing at first. I was just starting to write things down. The things that stood out to me first was, what a butterfly effect. I wanted an exasperation of like, oh, this butterfly effect. And that's how I use that word. Then vultures, I put in quotations because I was thinking maybe it could be a symbolism of people. I wasn't quite sure. Then I had cramp and I put had to sit down. I ended up cutting the had to sit down part, but I kept cramp in the sense of a stitch in the side pain. So at this point, I finally started to form together what was going on. Why did this character get a cramp? What was going on? And I was like, maybe they were hiking. And then they clicked that maybe they bought a lot of hiking stuff and the hiking industry was able to reach their bottom line because of the main character. From there, I was thinking, well, why would they go hiking and why would they buy all this stuff? Maybe they purged their belongings and put the rest in a storage locker so that they could hike the Appalachian Trail or the Pacific Coast Trail, any of those. Then I started thinking, why would they do this? Why would they want to go hiking? What was the spark, the driving factor? And I was thinking, well, maybe they bought things in the past and never actually followed through. Maybe they bought a snorkel and never used it. Then from there, I was able to tie in the rest of the words. Maybe the family is giving warning of a woman traveling alone, but she has no scruples for going out into the wilderness by herself. She still confided into her one supportive family member. In the outline, I didn't have a name. I just said that they wouldn't snitch on her, but she is checking with that family member when she hits the checkpoints throughout the hike. But something has happened. So the confidant won't snitch unless she doesn't hear from our main character. And that's how I was able to use all 10 words. And actually, those 10 words did not change between the outline and the story. And it just goes to show you, when you start an outline, you don't have to have the total story planned. That's kind of the purpose of an outline. You can start the outline not really knowing how you're going to write a story out of it, and then a story may become part of the outline and you'll be able to tie everything together. Now, let me read you my version of episode 114. This was not the plan. I mean, it was, but not in this way. Finally, I was using what I bought. I set out what I intended to do. It isn't like the snorkel set I had for 5 years and never used. I'm actually hiking. And with everything I bought, I'm probably why the industry is in the black this year. After purging and selling my belongings, where a few ended up in a storage locker, I set out to hike the Appalachian Trail. Sure, my family gave me warning of how women shouldn't travel alone, but I still have no scruples in taking this trip. I needed this. My cousin Brooke was the only supportive one. I've been calling her at each checkpoint as she followed my progress on her own map. She wouldn't snitch on my location, unless I didn't check in. I was making good time, even a whole day early, but we assumed I was going to slow down as I was in an uphill stretch. Guess some butterfly effect has set that course adrift. I didn't expect to get a cramp. I didn't know I was that close to the edge. The chest strap to my pack wasn't latched and fell off in the tumble. The only thing that went my way was landing on a ledge instead of falling to the bottom of the mountain. At least I finally used something I bought, I guess. Now, I think the vultures are going to find me before the emergency cruise. This story was definitely fun to write. I felt creative in how I was able to utilize each of the words. And even though I'm always proud of myself when my outline words stay the same when they become the story, honestly, I was thinking about it, and when my outline words change, I feel like that just means I wasn't married to the outline. Not that I was this time either, but like I fully invested and thought through how should I use these words, and I changed them appropriately to make it sound better in the story. Because you don't want any situation where, and this has happened in a few of my stories, where we all admit that that line would be deleted if I didn't have to use one of the 10 words. And it just happens sometimes. For this story, I'm not really sure what I'm missing. I know I'm missing something. I need to make it better, but I don't know how. I don't know what's missing. What is weak? And maybe it's what's in there isn't weak, but what's not in there is what needs to be in there, if that makes sense. It comes to that line of you don't know what you don't know. Well, if I don't know if it needs to be in there, but once it's added in there and I see it, then I would recognize, oh, that was missing. That's what I feel like this story needs at this point. But on the other side, I also don't really have a favorite line either. I like the story. I like that I have this, here's the plan, didn't go, and then I go on this like lead up to what happened, and then at the end you find out, oh, that's how the plan didn't go. And I like that story, that plot, but I don't know what's good. I have certain things that I was proud of, such as I'm the reason the hiking industry is in the black this year. I thought that was funny. We kind of make that comment a few times. I've made that comment a few times in my life where I bought a little bit too much and I'm like, well, I helped them reach their bottom line. Probably spent way too much. Usually that's with chocolate, but that's my own vice. But I also do like the line, and I think it's because it's almost poetic, of guess some butterfly effect has set that course adrift. And I really like that because the whole theory behind a butterfly effect is that a butterfly flaps its wings, then a hurricane is created. And a drift is something that's usually in the ocean where there's no guidance or anything, and hurricanes form the ocean. So I kind of like that poetic nature to that line. But again, there's nothing I hate about this story. I know I need to work on something because I'm a young writer in the sense of how long I've been writing, not in age. Though in age sometimes too. Technically, you're never too old, never too young. Let's just throw that out there. I recognize that I can always make something better. Now, I also recognize that I need to separate from it too. So, this story will end up getting piled in with the other 114, though actually I think my total count now is like 150, flash fictions that I don't plan to edit until I'm done with the entire book of Write the Story. When I'm done, then I'll do an entire editing series and talk through why I changed things and why things stayed the same. It's going to be a lot of live streams because I think that's the only way I'll be able to make this work. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I don't hate this story. I'm not in love with this story. I like the plot. I do like the plot. And, but I still have a passion for writing, and that's the key thing. Now, if I did drop off my passion, then I would just try a new story to reignite it. But I hope you're able to find joy in all of your passions every single day, every week, every month, and every year.